Hey parents, summer adventures await. With UTA's rider's license, your kids ages 6 to 18 get unlimited rides all summer long. Yup, including tracks, front-runner buses, even UTA On Demand. It's the freedom to explore parks, libraries, lagoons, summer jobs, and more. Rider's license is valid June through August, and still just $49. And it's available right now. Get yours today on the Transit app or at rideuta.com.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Hear updates on the national and local Utah real estate markets. We cover residential and commercial properties. Plus, get inspiring ideas to make your house a home from our sponsor, Osmond Designs. Here's Heather Osmond and Jeff Caplan on KSL News Radio.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are, and it's beautiful outside, but it is even more beautiful in Osmond Designs. I'm a little biased because I am the owner, and we have all of the spring stuff out right now, and it is so gorgeous. Lots of florals, of course, the fake ones that don't die, which I love. They are the soft touch, so they look real, feel real, but you don't have to water them, so come check that out. We also are selling Parade of Homes tickets. They are the discount tickets. So if you're out and about today, stop by and grab some of those. You will also receive a free bag and a free lanyard with your purchase. So check that out. I love doing this KSL Real Estate Show. And today, our conversation matters to every homeowner, builder, developer, and dreamer in Utah, because really, beautiful cities don't become beautiful accidentally. We have Eric Jensen. He is the brand new Pleasant Grove mayor. Welcome to the show, Eric.
It's good to be here, Jeff and Heather. Thank you.
It's so nice to have you. It takes leaders, communities, and developers working together instead of against each other to make these cities beautiful. We've never had a mayor on before.
I feel honored. Thank you.
I'm just so happy to have you. And we've never had a city council member on before either, and you're both.
Yeah, I just finished a 10-year term as being a city council member and then took on the role of mayor. So I'm glad to take on both for you.
I think it's awesome. Yeah. And I love having you on because you understand both the opportunities and the growing pains that come with being in one of Utah's fastest changing areas. Pleasant Grove is a beautiful city.
It is. I won't argue with that. It is changing. We do have economic growth that is happening and home ownership.
That's awesome. Okay, what inspired you to run for first city council?
It was probably about 15 years ago. My wife and I were driving down Main Street of Pleasant Grove, and I was driving and I was complaining about Main Street. You know, what could we do? And she said, pull the car over. And I'm like, really? She said, yes, pull the car over. And then I said, okay. She said, what are you doing? I said, well, I guess I'm complaining. And she said, how about stop complaining and get involved in the community? I'll support you and do whatever it takes, but you have some great ideas. Get involved. And so you know what I did? I got involved. I became my neighborhood chair and got involved with the city that way and talked about ideas. And next thing I knew, I was on the downtown advisory board. And then before I knew it, I was being asked to run for city council. I didn't win my first time, but I got involved with our planning commission and got to learn about land uses and how economic development really happens in our city with the different uses and ordinances. And then from there, I campaigned again and got elected.
So what inspired you to run for mayor?
I think through my experiences as a city council member, especially working with our residents of the city, I love doing that. I love building those relationships across the board, not only with our residents, but with businesses of like-minded and getting them involved in our community, which is so important for cities, of having the businesses that choose to come into your city being engaged then with their residents, whether it's service projects or communities or schools. It's important for them to see what matters in our communities. And so that's kind of where that story starts.
So wait, your wife hit you with a truth bomb.
She hit me, yes.
Yeah, you took her up on it. So now it's like, what, 10 years later at this point?
10 to 12 years later, yeah.
Does she complain that you're never home at night now?
No, because she gets involved too, right? She's a resident. She's a citizen of Pleasant Grove.
She wanted to get him out of the house.
Yeah.
She's like, would you please go be on city council or be a mayor?
And I'll tell you some of my ideas and we'll get involved. But, it was a great collaboration there with her. It was a truth bomb and it kind of hit me hard. I said, you know what? That's true. And so I need to get involved instead of talking.
What are you most excited about that's going on in Pleasant Grove City right now?
Well, so on the events side, we have our Pleasant Grove Strawberry Days coming up. Literally in probably about 2.5, 3 weeks, we have that coming up, and that engages the whole of the state of Utah or Utah County, and especially our city. Strawberry Days was built on the backs of volunteers. And so if you really want to see how our residents react and come together, it's Strawberry Days. And that's a key and vital part of our community and who we are as a city. And so you're invited, both of you, if you want. You just come talk to me and we'll get you involved and get you to the rodeo or whatever event.
It's very cool. Did the strawberries make it through the cold?
I haven't heard. All I've heard is that we're okay. We're okay.
Okay, it was cold again the other night this week.
People love their strawberries and cream.
Oh,
right?
So I've been to the Pleasant Grove Rodeo.
Okay.
I actually have memories of my sweet grandpa, Elmo Gray, who lived in Lehigh.
Wow.
He would always take all the grandkids to the Pleasant Grove Rodeo. And so that is something that is near and dear to my heart. And of course, we always had the strawberries and cream. And so I'm a huge fan. I will absolutely take you up on your offer. I'd love to go.
Okay. And you put your cowboy hat on, right? And
of
the boots?
course. And the
Okay.
boots.
Okay.
Once a year, you get those right out, right?
Yeehaw.
Yeah. We'll have brand new seating, new bleachers for the residents and all those who attend. So it'll be even better experience for them.
Wow. What's your vision for the next 5 years for Pleasant Grove?
I think some of the key aspects for not only my vision, but I would hope the citizens as well, is bringing in that economic base out by our freeway exit. We have a developer who's been vital to our community, who's been there for well over 10 years, St. John Properties. They are going to invest over $1.2 billion into our community, whether it's commercial or retail or housing aspects. They believe in our community. They've invested in our community with our public schools, with our library. They're here to stay. And so that's a relationship, I think, that needs to be bragged about and shouted about, that they're in our community and they are bringing the economic development part, which, of course, cities love sales tax. Now, probably the state, the governor, he loves jobs, right? Well, we love both, but we love sales tax because that sales tax helps us offset the costs of doing business in our city, the services that we provide, and that helps offset those costs. And so they're bringing in, now I'm a steak and potato guy, and so they're bringing in Longhorn Steakhouse.
Oh.
I don't know how people love them or not, but
You'll have lines.
okay, that is good to hear. And so, and then we have a soon-to-be ribbon cutting, another ice cream place, Stella's Ice Cream, a local entrepreneurship type of ice cream place that's coming in. We have the whole gamut that are, wide spectrum of businesses that are coming in. And that's what you want to see is not only the large box, but the mom and pop shops that are coming into our community.
Mayor,
Yes.
Utah has a genetic need for growth.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we see this over and over again as these towns develop, as people flock here, as families have more children. But there's a point of resistance where people say too much growth.
Yes.
How are you finding a balance in Pleasant Grove?
That, great comment. I love that because we have to be very smart about our growth and where the growth happens in our community. Luckily for Pleasant Grove, State Street and to the freeway is where we're seeing a lot of our economic growth. On the other side, east side of State Street, is your small town feel, your Main Street, and communities right there. So right now we can kind of have the best of both worlds, but we do have to be very smart. Pleasant Grove is being hit just like any other community with the word high density or apartments. And so we have to be smart. Where are we placing those? Is it smart for our city? And how does it affect our infrastructure, right, moving forward? And so all of those play into a factor, whether you're a council member or mayor.
So any data centers? Just asking.
No,
Ouch.
no data centers in Pleasant Grove. We have no room for that would probably take up our whole city, right?
Yeah.
What I'm hearing up there.
40,000 acres.
Yeah. Yeah, no room. Sorry, no data centers in Pleasant Grove.
Okay, so let's go back to food. I'm feeling hungry because of Strawberry Days and Texas Longhorn, you said, the steakhouse and the ice cream parlor and all of those things. Exit 285. You have absolutely transformed that area with the help of St. John.
With the help of St. John. Luckily, and this was before my time, is we had some city council and mayors that foresaw the need of an exit. And so that is I'm grateful for that foresight that they had.
For sure. Being a small business owner, I love that you mentioned previously, not only are some of the national brands coming in, but also the mom and pop shops. Those are our neighbors. Those are our friends. Those owners are playing, their kids are playing soccer with your kids and all of those things. And
can we brag? Heather Osmond Designs was one of the very first tenants on our Main Street that helped really get things going. Am I right?
It is true.
Right?
That was our very first location on the corner of Main Street, and you believed in us. And I really, really appreciate that. When we come back, we're diving into city approval processes and talking openly about how homeowners, developers, and city leaders can work together instead of feeling frustrated by the process. We have Eric Jensen, Mayor of Pleasant Grove, on the show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Awesome.
It's time. Bank of Utah's My Utah Photo Contest is back. So here's how it works. My Utah is blank. You fill in the blank with your best photo. Is it a summer sunset or a legendary ski run? Bank of Utah wants to know. Submit pictures showing what Utah means to you for a chance to win $500 and be featured on Bank of Utah billboards. Deadline July 6th. Details at bankofutah.com. Bank of Utah. My Utah, my bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 422914.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm, under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now it's the final days of our Everything's on Sale event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses. Our Memorial Day event ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey parents, summer adventures await. With UTA's rider's license, your kids ages 6 to 18 get unlimited rides all summer long. Yup, including tracks, front-runner buses, even UTA On Demand. It's the freedom to explore parks, libraries, lagoons, summer jobs, and more. Rider's license is valid June through August, and still just $49. And it's available right now. Get yours today on the Transit app or at rideuta.com.
We're back with the KSL Real Estate Show, sponsored by Osmond Designs on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the KSL Real Estate Show. Thank you for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Thank you so much for coming back and joining us. Today we're having one of the most important conversations in Utah real estate, not just about building homes, but building relationships. because behind every successful project is collaboration between visionary developers and cities that deeply care about the future. At the end of the previous segment, we were talking about my Osmond design store and how my very first location was right there on the corner of Center Street and Main Street.
You were at the heart of Pleasant Grove, right there.
Right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My business started with a desk, a chair, and a bookcase.
That's amazing. I remember walking in and I'm like, wow. But you know what I saw? I saw that the vision that you had, and look what's happened now with Osmond Designs. It's amazing.
It's amazing, and I can thank you and your city for that. I really appreciate that. Walk us through the city process for new development. How does that work?
Typically, we have a community development department and a staff with wonderful staff, right, that knows the ordinances and the zoning laws of our city. And we have a director that heads that team up and is deeply concerned about not only our city, but the developers or homeowners when they walk in with any kind of questions. And so that's how the process starts, is an open door policy. They walk into the counter and, like we just had one, chicken salad chick. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
Apparently they're big in the South. I happened to be sitting down on the couch, and he came up to the counter, and just to see the engagement is saying, hey, I worked with St. John Properties. I'm buying this storefront. What do I need to do? And the staff kind of takes over from there and kind of gives them a one-pager of this is what you need to do and what you need to accomplish. And we'll work with you through the whole process of getting you started and then finally getting your business license and making your business successful. And just so seeing that and then walking up and saying, thank you for choosing Pleasant Grove and thank you for working with our staff.
I love that so much. I also am a real estate investor, so I find myself working with cities quite often. What are some of the biggest mistakes that developers can make when presenting projects? I know you have experience on city council as well as now being the mayor.
Well, what we want to see is, whether with city council or with the planning department, is that the developers are coming in with a well-oiled plan, right? They've talked with our staff, and before they even come present, because if they don't come prepared, it can get a little shaky at times, right? Well, have you went and crossed off this box? Have you done this? Have you done some red lines here and there? And so hopefully our staff is working with them to make that process seamless for them. And so when they do come present to whether the planning commission or then to the city council, that they're ready to go. And the staff then gives their recommendation to the planning commission or the city council. And that carries a lot of weight because we know our staff works hard day and night to go over those plans, to review those plans, and then present them to us. And so if you have that approval from staff, it means the world to us because we know that the due diligence has been done on both sides.
Okay, so I've actually been to a lot of these meetings,
yes.
And sometimes those homeowners come and voice concerns.
Not in my backyard type of thing, right?
That was so gentle. Homeowners voice concerns.
Complainers, the Karens of the world, right?
Yes, yep.
Sometimes they have legitimate concerns. Other times they just want to complain. How's the best way, or what advice would you give to homeowners or landowners in those areas?
I actually encourage it, and I think our city council does too. We have what we call an open session where residents can come in. They have 3 minutes, and if they take up the full 3 minutes, yet they have more to talk about, I usually ask them to step out in the hallway with either our city administrator or that department that they're having an issue with, and have a frank conversation with them, and then report back, whether it's that council meeting or the next council meeting that we have. It's crucial to have that, and I think you mentioned this word, collaboration. It's so important because then you're building that relationship with the community and with that resident. Whether it's a valid concern or they just want to complain, we still need to listen to that and be aware of that, and so we can address that.
10 years in city government, do you see mistrust in authority is growing over that time?
I think when you talk about that, what I'm afraid of is people see what's happening on the national level, and sometimes they compare that or equate that to our local level. And so sometimes we get some residents that come in and feel that way, but I think sooner or later they feel that we're super close to them. We're actually their neighbor, right? and they see that we want the best for that city, our city too. And so I would hope that they don't compare us to any national trends that are going on.
I understand this because when you're talking about local, people complain on our text line at KSL, the fake news media, and we say, you mean like me?
Yeah.
And oh, not you. You trust locally a lot more the further they are from your community.
That is so true. And you see things, local governments, cities, and then you see us hitting heads sometimes with our state legislators. Well, and then they feel the same way about our national government, right? And so I would hope that we can collaborate with our state legislatures, because sometimes we feel picked on, right? And I think it gets back to building those relationships and moving forward.
I agree. Communication and relationships. Really, city doesn't have to be your enemy.
No.
They can be your friend. And if you have an end goal where it's a win-win for both, then everyone will be happy, including the residents and the landowners around your specific project.
You get it. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Cities remember developers who care about legacy instead of shortcuts. And I think, as you were saying with St. John, you've had a great experience with them. Reputation. It's a small world. And if you do a great job, people know about it and they trust you. And I really believe that the most successful developments begin long before the first shovel even hits the dirt. Just plan.
I have a story, and I can share it with you later if you like.
Absolutely. Coming up next, we're talking about the future of Utah cities with Eric Jensen. He is the new Pleasant Grove mayor. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Roughly 20 veterans die by suicide every single day. Canines for Warriors has been the nation's leading nonprofit organization, providing service dogs for veterans battling PTSD and other invisible wounds of war.
Thanks to my service dog, Lady Cameo, I got my life back.
I'm able to get out of bed in the morning.
Be excited, happy about today.
To learn more, visit caninesforwarriors.org. That's caninesforwarriors.org.
For all your compact construction equipment, visit Cat Compact at Wheeler Machinery. Stop by the new Sandy and Linden locations to demo skid steers, mini excavators, and a full range of attachments built for any job. Rent or buy, new or used, there's an option that fits your budget. And with Cat's next-day parts, 2-day repairs commitment, your crew stays moving. Visit Cat Compact at Wheeler Machinery today.
It's time. Bank of Utah's My Utah Photo Contest is back. So here's how it works. My Utah is blank. You fill in the blank with your best photo. Is it a summer sunset or a legendary ski run? Bank of Utah wants to know. Submit pictures showing what Utah means to you for a chance to win $500 and be featured on Bank of Utah billboards. Deadline July 6th. Details at bankofutah.com. Bank of Utah. My Utah, my bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 422914.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey parents, summer adventures await. With UTA's rider's license, your kids ages 6 to 18 get unlimited rides all summer long. Yup, including tracks, front-runner buses, even UTA On Demand. It's the freedom to explore parks, libraries, lagoons, summer jobs, and more. Rider's license is valid June through August, and still just $49. And it's available right now. Get yours today on the Transit app or at rideuta.com.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Hear updates updates on the national and local Utah real estate markets. We cover residential and commercial properties. Plus, get inspiring ideas to make your house a home from our sponsor, Osmond Designs. Here's Heather Osmond and Jeff Caplan on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the KSL Real Estate Show. We're glad you're listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And if you're out and about today, please stop by. We have two 22,000 square foot showrooms, and they are stocked full of in-stock merchandise. You can bring your truck and trailer and take them home today. You know, it's never too late to get a new sofa, a new sectional, great dining table. I mean, it's always a great day for having a home that you love to be in. Today, we're talking with Eric Jensen. He is the brand new Pleasant Grove mayor. Welcome to the show, Eric.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
You are so much fun, and you're so knowledgeable. You were a previous city council member, and then you were talked into being mayor.
Talked in, or I just felt that I don't know, you hear higher calling. I love working with people and representing our city, Pleasant Grove, on all fronts, whether it's, we have a thing called MAG, right? Mountain Land Association of Governments. That's all your local Utah County mayors and UDOT and all the players are at the table, and I want to represent our city and do the best we can.
Well, you're killing it. I'm really proud to know you and have you as my friend. One of the things I love most about real estate is that it's never just about the homes. It's really about the lifestyle. It's about the parks, the schools, the businesses, safety, beauty, and the feeling people get when they pull into their neighborhood at night and say, this feels like home.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. That I like quality of life. Yes.
It's quality of life. Yeah. And I feel like Pleasant Grove has a really great balance between those two. Your commercial is growing. That exit 285 is absolutely beautiful.
It's going.
Go St. John. We love them. Keep them going, bringing in not only national tenants, but also local small business like my business.
We do. And we just like Maggleby's just came in, right? And all these other First Watch, other great restaurants that are finally starting to come in, and people are starting to see the fruits.
Absolutely. Okay, so what recommendations do you have for someone that wants to develop maybe in Pleasant Grove?
Recommendation is, I would say, come in and talk to me, right? Come and talk to the mayor of Pleasant Grove, and then I'll sit down with our community development director and city administrator and see what you need to accomplish your dreams.
Is this if you're going to build a couple houses, or is this just if you're going to put up a strip mall?
You know what? I like to do both. I have what we call Open Mayor Mondays, where my door is always open. They can come in and meet with the mayor of Pleasant Grove.
That sounds fun.
Well, we have Open Mayor Day here, so we're good.
Here we go. It's Saturday morning.
Yeah. So I invite the residents, developers, employees to come and chat with me. And it's just an open door policy, and I want to hear about the successes and what we can do better.
That's amazing. Okay, you were going to tell us a story. Let's go back to that.
I do. And so this gets back to building relationships that matter, being involved in the community. A few years ago, it's kind of two stories in one, is our library had a need. They weren't quite ADA compliant. And so St. John's was new to the community, and I knew that they were putting in a bunch of new buildings. And I said, our library needs an elevator. I know that you're putting elevators in these 5 or 6 story buildings. I know you have the contacts. Can you help our library out? Well, they did. They paid for a new library and for the installation of that, because part of their little write-up on their webpage is that we strongly believe in education in communities and building our communities up. So I took that with them as a game plan and went forth. A few years later, Central Elementary School has the space program there, right? And they went and donated over $1 million to make that new facility happen. It's because they believe again in the community and education in our communities, and so that was a huge ask and a huge give that they gave.
That's absolutely incredible. I love those stories. Yeah. That's so good. Okay, what other certain types of developments does the city hope to attract? I mean, I'm always cheering for food.
I'm a big food guy, right? Because with food comes building time around families and or individuals just to having a casual conversation. And sometimes those conversations turn into great ideas, right? And so not only that, but our commercial we have the Silicon Slopes, right? But we're grabbing a lot of those businesses away from the point of the mountain to Pleasant Grove area because we feel that maybe it's a little more easier access and affordable for them. And so that's some of the key components that we're looking for is we want to bring in that daytime population that helps our residents grow in many ways. So
for sure. Yeah. Okay, what are some important tips and tricks about bringing in trails and parks and downtown gathering places and local businesses? How are you doing that in Pleasant Grove?
It is. And we talked about quality of life before. A well-rounded community has all aspects to it, not only the business and economic development to public safety, which is a huge part, but then also bringing in trails. We have the Murdoch Trail that sits right above our city, which thousands of people use daily. Right?
I've ridden it on my bike. Okay. It is breathtaking.
It is. And that was a collaboration along with Utah County, right? And other cities to make that work. And now it connects up with other trail systems. We do have mountain bike trail systems in our city. We have some wonderful brand new park, the Cook Family Park, that was a collaboration with the Cook family and Pleasant Grove City that has all access abilities for our kids and adults. And so that has been a huge boon for our city as a gathering place.
One of the hottest topics in Utah is affordability.
Oh, yeah.
How can cities help create attainable housing while maintaining quality? I know I want my kids to live close to me. I live in Alpine. Pleasant Grove is just, a city away.
Yes.
How do I keep them close?
It's hard because, my daughter with the grandkids lives in the city over. I'll give Mayor Frost a shout out, American Fork City. My other two sons live in Lehigh and Bluffdale. And, we keep using the word apartments or high density. Well, my sons would probably qualify for that. One lives in a townhome and one lives in apartments. So it's good to have a great mix of everything, whether it's residential housing or apartments or townhomes, because not everyone can step right into, and I'm glad you used the word attainable, because often we hear the state or other people use affordability. Well, what does that really mean, right? I've always got confused on that. It's attainable, and how can our kids start saving up to then afford to live in a community, whether it is an apartment. The state of Utah defines high density as anything from a duplex on up, right? So for our city, I think we've hit well over 30% would qualify for that. And it gets into the state of Utah's moderate income housing plan. Our city and other cities have to submit a plan every year for that. And we have to qualify and meet certain qualifications or we lose out on some road monies, right? And whether that's, mandating or whatever, it's important because that's a critical aspect to any city. And we have over 120 miles worth of roads. So, I think Pleasant Grove has done its part. And if we have time, I'll share a quick story about how that came about. I remember as a city council member, we were sitting in a meeting and we had probably over 40, 50, 60 people in our meeting. And I'm looking at the agenda and I'm like, what have we done wrong? What's happening here? You always think that way. Like, why are all these people here to voice up? Well, we had a small little item that I didn't even think twice about, and it was about tiny homes. We had an ordinance that we were approving to approve tiny homes. And this is because we have families now that are wanting their grandma or mothers to live close to them. ADUs. And we approved it. And a lot of people started crying in the audience. I'm like, oh no, what? They started getting up and saying, thank you. Thank you for considering this small little item that means a lot because now I can have my mom live right next to me or live in my basement. And so you're seeing a lot of ADUs or accessory apartments. We were probably, I don't want to say we were one of the very first, but we were probably right on the forefront of tiny homes and ADUs of approving that. And that goes right into the state's plan of the housing plan.
You talked about attainable or affordable, whatever word. I find them kind of interchangeable, but affordable housing. One factor in that is the taxes you have to pay, and communities are so challenged right now. Inflation, what it is, your employees want to make more money, the cost of goods is greater, and you have the public saying, no. What are you doing in Pleasant Grove?
We're being, we hear the nickel and dimed to death, right? We hear that, and we're citizens of the same community, and we want to be mindful of the tax dollars. as a city, we only get a small portion of what your property taxes pay for. Usually the school districts take a large chunk of that, like close to 70%. Typically, Pleasant Grove gets about 15% of that. So we have to be very mindful of how do we use those funds in a good way. And that's spread across, for us, 9 departments. And so we want to make sure we educate our citizens about how we're using those funds, how expectations are happening, because we're a city like any other city of services. And we provide those services, and those services, right, cities are not immune to the costs of inflation. And so those costs get passed on to us. And so we have to be mindful of that and then go to the citizens if we need to do a property tax increase. I think you're going to see, at least in Utah County, a majority of your cities are probably going to do property tax increases this year, or at least go through the truth and taxation process because of public safety in our communities.
For sure. How do cities maintain quality? Because you're trying to create affordability and attainable housing and keep the standards higher, right? So that we have beautiful communities that people can enjoy and that will last and be quality.
We do, and that gets back to the tax dollars. Are we using them wisely? Are we providing that quality of service, and how we're mandating those things? And so, yeah, it's truly important that we have bi-monthly meetings, and we go through our budget all the time.
I think the cities that are creating connection instead of just construction are really those cities that are being most successful. And I feel like Pleasant Grove is one of those. My sweet mom lives in Pleasant Grove, and she absolutely loves it.
I'm going to have to go visit.
You'll have to go visit.
Yes.
Shout out to my mom.
Okay.
She's amazing. You're listening to the KSL Real Estate Show. I'm Heather Osmond, owner of Osmond Designs Furniture and Interior Design Stores, here with Eric Jensen, the brand new mayor of Pleasant Grove City. Such a treat to have you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
For all your compact construction equipment, visit Cat Compact at Wheeler Machinery. Stop by the new Sandy and Linden locations at demo skid steers, mini excavators, and a full range of attachments built for any job. Rent or buy, new or used, there's an option that fits your budget. And with Cat's next-day parts, 2-day repairs commitment, your crew stays moving. Visit Cat Compact at Wheeler Machinery today.
It's time. Bank of Utah's My Utah Photo Contest is back. So here's how it works. My Utah is blank. You fill in the blank with your best photo. Is it a summer sunset or a legendary ski run? Bank of Utah wants to know. Submit pictures showing what Utah means to you for a chance to win $500 and be featured on Bank of Utah billboards. Deadline July 6th. Details at bankofutah.com. Bank of Utah. My Utah, my bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 422914.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now it's the final days of our Everything's on Sale event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses. Our Memorial Day event ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Hey parents, summer adventures await. With UTA's rider's license, your kids ages 6 to 18 get unlimited rides all summer long. Yup, including tracks, front-runner buses, even UTA On Demand. It's the freedom to explore parks, libraries, lagoons, summer jobs, and more. Rider's license is valid June through August, and still just $49. And it's available right now. Get yours today on the Transit app or at rideuta.com.
We're back with the KSL Real Estate Show, sponsored by Osmond Designs on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the KSL Real Estate Show. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And if you are out and about today, please stop by our stores. We have discount Parade of Home tickets that we are selling. You also receive a free bag and a free lanyard, which is a lot of fun. This year's Utah Valley Parade of Homes is probably the best that it's ever been. And I can't believe we're saying that again this year because, I don't know, last year is pretty hard to beat and this year actually tops it. So get excited, bring your family, and come and enjoy that. Today's conversation has really highlighted something powerful, and that is that cities succeed when people stop asking, what can I get? And they start asking, what can we build together? We have Eric Jensen, Mayor of Pleasant Grove City, on the show with us today. Let's ask you, Mayor, what has surprised you most about becoming mayor?
Probably the biggest surprise is the time commitment, right? For Pleasant Grove, the mayor is part-time. Well, that's probably only in words only, right? And I love my city. I love spending time in my city. I love date nights in our city, right? Spending money in our city. It is the time commitment and wanting our city to succeed. So when they say part-time is only in word of mouth, it takes a lot to grow a community, to represent a community and move that community forward, and working on all aspects, whether it's homeowners, business owners, developers, working with all the staff and our departments. It takes a lot, and then I am grateful for our staff. They help out a lot.
Do you have a career outside of mayoring?
So I am kind of partially semi-retired. My career right now is I'm the president and CEO of the Pleasant Grove Linden Chamber of Commerce. Before that, I was a network nerd, believe it or not.
What is a network nerd?
Network engineer. So I worked for the city of Orem for a long time in Cottonwood Heights. Yeah. So when you have questions about the internet or your APs or firewalls or anything like that, I was that man.
Okay, could you get me onto the network here, the guest network?
You know
because
what? We
it
can
keeps
probably
telling
work
me
that
there's
out. You get me to a computer, we'll do it.
That's awesome. Okay, before we go any further, we need to give a shout out to Central Bank, who is the sponsor of this KSL Real Estate Show, and they have a location in Pleasant Grove. They were one of the very first commercial buildings in a huge farm right by that exit 285 by St. John's and all the restaurants and all the development. Central Bank is incredible.
They are, because you get off our exit, and the only building you would see, and probably the people that believed very first in our community was Central Bank. doTERRA was there too, but Central Bank built right there. When you get off, they believed in our community, they built in our community, and it's still one of the first things you see when you get off our exit is Central Bank. And so I appreciate them so much.
For sure. And they're another one of those that really give back to our community. They've been in business for 130 years, and they have locations all across the Wasatch Front. But if you're out and about today, you need a date night, come over to Pleasant Grove. Come check it out. There's so much to offer there.
There is.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you were going to say if you're going out on a date night, go to Central Bank. And I'm like, no.
Go get some money at Central Bank and then go to dinner. It's going to be a great time. Yeah. Okay, years from now, what do you hope people say about you as mayor, Eric?
I have a motto, and it sits in my office. You walk in my office, and it says, "We lead together." And I strongly believe that in collaboration and building those relationships across all fronts. And so I would hope that whether it's 4 years from now or 8 years from now, 10 years from now, that they said Mayor Jensen was a mayor of the people, a mayor that believed in our community and was easily accessible to the people. And I strongly believe that, because if you open those communication lines, it makes things so much easier.
For sure. The real secret to building beautiful communities, I believe, is remembering that every zoning decision, every development, every park, every home, every food establishment ultimately shapes someone's life story. And we're really creating memories in our communities. Pleasant Grove is leading that in the Utah County area. what an honor to be the mayor of this wonderful city. I love that you are progressive in your development, but you're also maintaining the quaintness and the history of Pleasant Grove. Even the style of the buildings and all of that is very, very beautifully done. Thank you to the mayor of Pleasant Grove for joining us today. And thank you to all of our listeners across Utah. This is the KSL Real Estate Show, where we don't just talk about homes, we talk about building better communities. Thank you so much again, Mayor Jensen, for being with us today.
Heather and Jeff, thank you for having me on. It was a privilege.
What a pleasure.
What a pleasure. Come to Strawberry Days, come to the rodeo, come and ride up, and come to the Utah Valley Parade of Homes. We have discount tickets available at Osmond Designs.
My kids fight over those tickets. It's important.
Let's go. Thank you. We'll be back next week.
It's time. Bank of Utah's My Utah Photo Contest is back. So here's how it works. My Utah is blank. You fill in the blank with your best photo. Is it a summer sunset or a legendary ski run? Bank of Utah wants to know. Submit pictures showing what Utah means to you for a chance to win $500 and be featured on Bank of Utah billboards. Deadline July 6th. Details at bankofutah.com. Bank of Utah. My Utah, my bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 422914.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
If you work in university maintenance, Grainger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Grainger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more, and all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, visit Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Jake Stauk, co-founder and CEO of Serval. We built Serval to automate the IT work that slows companies down. Onboarding, password resets, access to applications, my laptop stopped working. While employees wait for help, their real work is put on hold. IT desperately wants to automate this work, and that's why they need Serval. You just tell Serval what you want to automate in plain English, and it's built. No drag and drop workflows, no expensive consultants. Employees get unblocked, and IT teams go from drowning in tickets to building what actually matters. With Serval, IT becomes the AI engine powering the entire company. This is a new way to run IT. We guarantee you'll automate 50% of all tickets, and we'll prove it to you in a free 4-week pilot. Go to serval.com/tickets. That's SERVAL.com/tickets.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious. With multiple engine options and impressive towing, while Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability. Nice. Making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. Click to learn more. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Hey parents, summer adventures await. With UTA's rider's license, your kids ages 6 to 18 get unlimited rides all summer long. Yup, including tracks, front-runner buses, even UTA On Demand. It's the freedom to explore parks, libraries, lagoons, summer jobs, and more. Rider's license is valid June through August, and still just $49. And it's available right now. Get yours today on the Transit app or at rideuta.com.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Aprovecha los ahorros de Memorial Day en Lowe's y compra los básicos para el hogar por menos. Ahorra $80 en la parrilla a gas de 4 quemadores Char-Broil Performance Series. Además, ahorra hasta 45% en electrodomésticos selectos. Nuestra mejor selección está aquí en Lowe's. Lowe's, nosotros ayudamos. Tú ahorras. Válido hasta 5/27 hasta agotar existencia. Selección varía por tienda. Detalles en Lowe's.com.
Visita tu Lowe's más cercano en West University Parkway en Orem.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.